Good evening, nerds around the world, and Happy New Year. Welcome to episode 142 of the Nerds United One podcast, our first episode of 2019. I'm your host, Paul English, and as always, we have a fantastic show for you. We are kicking off 2019 by getting in touch with our evil side and counting down our top 5 favorite TV villains. Joining me on this show is the fantastic crew of regulars that you know and love, Chris, Colton, Jack, and Mike. Boys, what's up?
Hey everyone.
What's going on?
Great to be here.
What's
Got my
up?
Crossbones shirt on to get myself in the mood, so I'm all ready.
All right. I'm just doing a bunch of killing on a game, so I'm feeling very evil right now. Okay. Let's get it going. Chris, I'm going to start with you. Give me number 5 on your list.
Okay, now my number 5 is hello, Jerry.
I don't get
What?
the reference.
Oh my God.
Am I the only one who gets it?
That was Newman, isn't it?
Yes.
I never watched an episode of Seinfeld, but I still know.
I've never watched an episode of Seinfeld either, so I didn't get that reference.
I never thought of him as a villain per se, more of an antagonist.
Yeah, I didn't think of him as a villain either, but okay.
Well, to me, he's kind of a villain. he is the villain. Number 5 on my list is Newman from Seinfeld.
Why?
Yeah, because it's just like, why is he? Because he's just the perfect foil to Jerry. He's just, I mean, he's just, I'm just like, it's just the animosity between him and Jerry. It's just like, you know, it's just how you just break out to hysterics when you ever see their interactions. It's just one another. And Wade Knight just like in all his over the top splendor, he brought that character to life. It's just like, and Jerry often refers to, he describes Newman as the Lex Luthor to his Superman. He's just pure evil. He's just a delight. I mean, he's just Wayne Knight is just a delight to watch this character, the way he taunts him, the way he is envious of him. It's just like the angry rants that he has. It's just like, I mean, it's just, it's as far as like TV rivalries on TV sitcoms. It's just like I don't think I've seen anything done as masterfully executed as the rivalry that these two have, especially with Newman. It's just like antagonist on TV shows. It's just like Newman's just a riot. I mean, I just love how well done this character is. It's just like you couldn't even get anyone better than Wayne Knight to portray him. So number 5 on my list is Newman from Seinfeld.
Okay. Interesting way to start this off. Colton, you are up next. Give me number 5 on your list.
Number 5 on my list is from ABC's Once Upon a Time, Peter Pan. That's not every day you hear the words Peter Pan is the bad guy, but
Wait, what?
but yeah. Well, actually, he wasn't all that good of a person in the movie either, but here he is. All his worst traits are cranked up to 11, and any redeeming qualities he has are just poof, gone. I love the way Robbie K plays him. He has a great silver tongue, always able to break people by talking, and he leads the Lost Boys like they're almost like they're a cult, so to speak. It's pretty disturbing to watch as he, manipulates the son of the main character, trying to get him onto his side so he can steal his heart and become immortal. And when I won't spoil what his backstory is, but it's pretty despicable, so to speak, and it really. Minor spoiler, but it involves his son and how he basically sold him out just so he could have, for his own selfish goals. And it's just a real shocker once you find out who he's related to. Or Once Upon a Time decided to overplay the shocking family reveal, but that's another story. And but seriously, he does like almost every evil thing under the sun. All that's missing is that he likes to steal candy from babies and kicks puppies in his spare time. He was like pretty much the peak of the show's villain, I'd say. I love how he was a complete monster. There was nothing redeeming about him. You just wanted to see him punched in the face, but you also loved to hate him. He wasn't like the kind of villain who was so over the top that you just had to stick with him. You loved it every time he was on screen, and he would have been higher on the list, honestly, if he had been a villain for longer. But for what he did and the impact he had on the show later and what his actions, the repercussions of his actions caused, he's number 5 on my list.
Okay, Jack, what's number 5 on your list?
My number 5 is someone I know, Paul and Colton. You know who they are.
Okay.
And that is the Penguin from Gotham.
Okay.
Not a bad choice.
He is an excellent villain, played famously by Robert Lorne Taylor, who I have got to meet a couple of times, and he kind of knows me, and he's really nice. So shout out to him. But he plays the Penguin so evil, so merciless, so calculating, so cold. I mean, he does some despicable things, and the relationship he has with Jim Gordon is what makes him a very interesting villain on that show.
Okay. You might find him on my list. Mike, what's number 5 on your list?
My number 5 is from an anime series. It's my current favorite anime series, My Hero Academia, and it's All for One. This is basically, the story of My Hero Academia is like all 80% of the world's population have some kind of superpower, some small, some big. All for One was one of the first generations to develop these superpowers. And his is that he can basically steal the superpower from anyone and he can also forcibly give a power to someone else. And like one of the first powers he gains is longevity, and so they don't specify how old he is, but he's been around for a very, very long time, and he is evil and he is overpowered, and it literally takes one of the main characters. It takes them using up pretty much everything left, every ounce of their superpower left, in order to take this guy down. And that didn't even kill him. That just got him arrested. So I mean, it's a pretty intense moment when he finally takes him out, but the guy's still around. The reason he's number 5 is because you barely see him. Like you know what he's done, but you only see him in this one big, huge, epic battle. And then you hear, he's still, he's in prison, but he's still kind of, being a puppeteer and moving pieces around on the board. So there's still more coming from him. So until the show goes further on, he's still at my number 5.
All right, number 5 on my list is Dr. Robotnik from Sonic Sat AM series. How the hell you are supposed to make a guy as goofy looking and as weird as Dr. Robotnik look intimidating as hell? Sounds like an impossible task, but by God, this show did it. He looks so scary, so intimidating, and Jim Cummings, the iconic Jim Cummings, brings him to life in such a terrifyingly delicious way. It is just, you can just tell he's having the time of his life recording this dialogue, and it shows. I love every voice work. I love the voice work he delivers, and it is a big reason why I love Sonic Sat AM series so much. It is such a fantastic show for a Sonic show, and a big reason why, holy shit, Dr. Robotnik in this show was unreal. So, yeah, number 5, Dr. Robotnik from Sonic Sat AM. A fantastic show. If you can find it, watch it. All right, number 4, Chris, coming to you.
Number 4 on my list is, I hope for some you will find this an excellent choice. Mr. Burns from.
I got that reference.
Yeah. But you're all like Captain America's like, understood that reference. Yeah. Well, who doesn't? Who? He's just a character you just love to hate.
Mm-hmm.
Bane and Marsley, he's very much a Marsley character. That low, sinister voice, Harry Shearer, just like, man, he brought the character to life. He made him despicable. He made him unquenchable. He brought like his unquestionable desire to increase his own wealth, that vanity, that selfishness. Oh my God, just like, and he has some of the funnier moments. Oh my God, the whole marriage is just you know, it's just, even though he is a complete like scumbag. He's just like, it's just the whole marriage is just what makes it. The whole marriage, like his whole character, his whole mannerism. It's just like, it's what makes him such a great character. It's just like that. No, I mean, of course, you can't help but love those rough. Well, and of course, he has some of my favorite moments on the show. It's like, of course, like, you know, with Bart. Yeah, of course, one of my favorites is like with Bart. You know, it's going to be his legal guardian. It's going to be Mr. Burns' legal guardian. He's going to inherit all his wealth, and that's like one of my favorite moments. It's as ruthless as a character he is a right when it comes to, you know, because to the humorous moments. But yeah, you can't. I don't think it just. It's just. I mean, it's just like I said, another well executed character. It's just like, and an unforgettable one. So number one. Number 4 on my list is Mr. Burns.
Smithers, release the hounds. I'm releasing the hounds on you, all of you. Colton, number 4 on your list is?
Number 4 on my list is from Jessica Jones, Kilgrave. Mayhem, oh my gosh, is this one of the most disturbing villains I've ever seen. It's like, I've seen a lot of shows where bad guys have mind control powers and all that jazz, but I think this is the first show I've seen that actually really delves into just how freaky of a power it can be in the wrong hands. Kilgrave is the embodiment of because it amused me and entitlement issues, especially regarding Jessica. I mean, when we saw just that first scene alone where she's asleep and then she suddenly imagines him licking the side of her face, I'm like, holy fuck, he's like the lasting post-traumatic stress that he left on Jessica alone is enough to make it to get him on this list. But I also love how David Tennant plays him. He has the right amount of, you know, he really balances Kilgrave's like smugness and his evilness perfectly, so that while you enjoy seeing him on screen, you also know that he's a total son of a bitch that needs to be taken down. And I also love how, like, as the season progresses, and then he goes out of his way to try and get Jessica back because he just cannot handle her not wanting to be with him, which probably led up to probably one of the most disturbing scenes when he actually legally buys Jessica's old home because he can't control her anymore, minor spoiler, so that in a vain attempt to try to get her to love him again. It's like, this guy cannot take no for an answer. And the fact that he wasn't even trying to use his powers in that instance, it's like, just really shows how far of a stalker slasher this character really is. And as his powers grow, and just the fact that anybody in the city can be Kilgraved, and Jessica has to look over her back at any instance, it's damn almighty. Doesn't get me started on what he did to Hope and like how his powers, told her don't move, and when Jessica tried to come get her, she literally just couldn't move because of what Kilgrave did. And when Jessica dragged her out of the bed, she was literally kicking and screaming because she felt she was just that compelled to not disobey Kilgrave. So props to Jessica Jones for that. I can only imagine what season 2 will bring. Yeah, I can't imagine anything topping Kilgrave, but we'll see.
All right, Jack, what's number 4 on your list?
Some would say I'm the reverse. Reverse Flash. Eobard Thawne. He is a great villain on The Flash, and then he died, and it's like, hey, I'm going to go through with the Legends now. He was an excellent villain. He's always there to menace Barry, no matter what he does. Killing his mother again, nearly beating him, and then fighting with the Legends, and making multiple versions of himself. He is always one step ahead. You cannot keep a good villain down, and that's why my number 4 is Eobard Thawne, the Reverse Flash.
Oh, well pick. All right, Mike, what's number 4 on your list?
My number 4 is Kingpin from Daredevil season 1.
Yes.
I mean, played by Vincent D'Onofrio. I mean, he's a very quiet guy, but the second you see him bash a guy's head in with a car door, That's when you know this guy's got a few screws loose, and he is willing to go that extra mile to make sure you do not screw with him. And yeah, I mean, although I haven't seen Daredevil season 3 yet, but even the moments when you see him in season 2, you know, do not screw with him. So yeah, Kingpin, Vincent D'Onofrio, Daredevil season 1.
All right, very good. All right, my number 4, I think, Mike, you'll appreciate this pick. Astronema from Power Rangers in Space. There are several reasons why In Space is widely considered the best season of Power Rangers history. I won't list them all, but a big reason I feel is the main villain. Astronema is a total badass. She does not screw around. She's got no time to goof around. She's a serious, battle-hardened warrior who gives the Rangers everything that she's got. True, she can go a little over the top at times, but nowhere near as much as like any of the villains before and a lot of the villains after. She was so intimidating, so menacing, and you really felt, and she was not afraid to get her hands dirty. Unlike a lot of the villains before, she would jump right in and fight. So there was that added element to her. I won't give away spoilers from the twist, but yeah, before the big reveal happened, woo, what a villain! Yeah, she was a total badass through and through, and rightfully deserves to be on anyone's favorite villain list. So I've seen it. So if for no other reason than to check out, I would encourage anyone to check out Power Rangers in Space. Fantastic season. And Astronema is a big reason why. So number 4 on my list is her. And of course, props have to be given to the actress who played her, Melody Perkins. Well done on her part. All right, number 3, Chris. What's number 3 on your list?
Number 3 on my list is number 3 on my list is the Reverse Flash from the Flash TV series. Oh my goodness! Well. This is like I credit the writers for brilliantly for in their execution of this character. Just like the menace, the ruthlessness of taunting, the way the works for Flash taunts. I mean, Barry Allen. He's just like Tom Cavanaugh. It's just like you couldn't get anyone better than Tom Cavanaugh to portray this character. He was tailor-made to portray this character. Just like it's like the cunning, the rather cold, cunning, calculating nature, and the ruthlessness in which he exacts his methods, and just like this is a character who you just that menacing lead that he just the menace that rate just like I believe it wasn't really when they had him announced as the villain back when the series was picked up. I'm not sure I was on board on him being the heavy in this show, but he's just like due to the execution of the character and the menace, just like I bought it. He was the perfect foil for that season, and I'm very much interested in seeing if he is going to return. He is very much the character's opposite number. It's just, like I said, like the combination of good writing and just performance is just like this character. It's a phenomenal. It's like I said, Tom Cavanaugh's phenomenal acting. It's just a well done villain and one of the best, and I say a very underrated one. So number 3 on my list is the Reverse Flash from the Flash TV series.
Okay, Colton, what's number 3 on your list?
Number 3 on my list is from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Grant Ward. Okay, this is a character that really can't be talked about without delving into spoilers, but I'll do my best. So anyway, what I love about Ward is just how of a complicated character he is. Like, he was raised by some truly despicable people and really messed him up and what have you, but I also loved how the characters made it clear that in no uncertain terms were they obligated to have to fix him or anything. He still made his choices, and whenever he acts, he's trying to get back into the team's good graces. You can tell that it's largely less because he's sorry for what he did and more of that he just wants them back and what have you. It makes it made for a very interesting dynamic rather than the typical a good member of the team goes bad and then things are awkward between them afterwards. And I also loved how Brett Dalton had the way he portrayed Ward's silver tongue was also great. Like if sometimes he could be during the scenes in season 2 between him and the team after he's been captured and they're speaking with each other, you almost want to be on Ward's side, but then you have to like stop him, like, wait a minute, what am I doing? He's a traitor. I'm not supposed to be listening to him. And I liked how he became a bit of a wild card later on in the season that was still very much only really caring about himself largely and only the people that he wanted to care about. And he also had this weird entitlement issue regarding Skye. It was very tense, and I just loved that dynamic. He had a great dynamic with everybody, and well, I can't get into it. Well, I would go a little bit further, but that goes way too much into spoiler territory. But again, for a character that I didn't really think much of when the show began, he became one of my favorite characters. So Grant Ward from season 3 is my number 3. Also, he's a damn good fighter, and probably his fight in the second season finale, probably the most brutal in the entire series. So, yep.
I'm so mad what he did to Fitz.
Aren't we all?
All right, Jack, what's number 3 on your list?
My number 3 is the one who should be on everybody's list.
Wait, who's your pick?
Mark Hamill's Joker.
Oh, yes.
Batman, the animated series. You do not mess with him. Like Batman says, it's always the unexpected with the Joker. Whether he's terrorizing Christmas or just wanting to have fun, the Joker, and you can't escape Mark Hamill's great Joker laugh. I mean, through
Get you, Batman.
he is so evil. But he has a code. His own messed up code about jokes, which is why I love it in Mad Love when he pretty much hurts Harley Quinn, because if you have to explain the joke, there is no joke.
Indeed.
And that's why Mark Hamill Joker is my number 3.
All right, Mike, who's number 3 on your list?
All right, my number 3 is from season 2 of Star Wars Rebels, the big bad Darth Vader.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
This was Darth Vader when he was at his peak Sith powers. I mean, this is a guy that he gave no F's against anybody. He would just, if you were in his way, he would take you out. And I mean, just going with the first episode of season 2, he pretty much mopped the floors with both Kanan and Ezra. Yep. They could do nothing against him. I mean,
now we do.
He was just tossing them left and right. They did nothing.
Yeah, the beginning episode. Oh my.
Oh yeah.
It's like no wait.
It's like, what are you high? Why are you fighting me? I can kill you. Go away. And he heartlessly kills that governor and frames the rebels for it. He basically, I mean, the reason he's not higher is because he's really only in like 3 or 4 episodes in the entire season. But his fight in the beginning, and dude, that final battle with Ahsoka in the finale.
Wow, got the chills.
Wow. Hell, I even bought the action figures down in Disneyland because it was that good of a fight. So yeah, my number 3, Darth Vader from season 2 of Rebels.
All right, well, number 3 on my list, and Mike, I think this is another pick you'll appreciate. This is arguably the most well-known villain in anime history, at least the anime known to the West, and that is the legendary Frieza from Dragon Ball Z. I mean, what can I say about Frieza that really has not already been said? There's a reason why he's the most iconic villain, one of the most iconic, if not the most iconic villain of all time. This son of a bitch is just pure evil.
And how many times has he come back?
What?
How many times has he come back?
Too many to count.
Yeah.
I mean, that just gives you an idea. They love him that much. The fans love him that much. Otherwise, they'd be saying, stop it. I haven't heard anyone say, stop bringing him back. He is beyond. He's ruthless. He's cold-blooded. He is a ruthless motherfucker that you just love to hate. Thank you, Mike. Go suck it, Chris. Freeze anime rules. All right.
Why was I muted?
All right. So yeah, I mean,
We heard you, Chris.
Right.
The one thing that I will say that I'm not a fan of his current voice actor, the one from the Kai dub. I think I prefer the one from the original. Actually, you know, it gets underrated. The voice of Frieza from the Ocean dub. I thought that Ocean dub voice was absolutely superb. But I'm more original Funimation dub than the Kai dub. But oh well, I mean, it still brought it. Frieza's just a brilliant.
Yeah, honestly, I've never been a fan of any of Frieza's voices.
Really?
Yeah, it's just a little.
I mean, to be fair, when you first think of it, like, is that a girl? This kind of sounds like a girl.
Yeah, it's too like high pitched and femmy for me.
All right, fair enough. But yeah, he is still a psycho. It's like, and you love him, so yeah. Frieza's number 3. All right, Chris. Stop bashing and give us number 2.
I'm not bashing anything. My number 2 is Cersei Lannister from Game of Thrones. The Queen of Westeros. What was that? Okay.
That was the cough, Chris. Remember that cold.
Get on with it.
Yeah, it's like the current Queen of Westeros. You know, it's the Maryland killing of Ned Stark. Oh my goodness! And like I said, Leah Hadley just. She's just, I mean, I just love her portrayal of the character. Just like, she just brings that iciness, that ruthlessness to her. Just like, it's just like, she's pretty much a bitch, so to speak. She's like, she's the definition, her calculating, her scheming, just like, her greed. Just, of course, she has that and of course, her and her twin brother Jamie, of course, have that relationship that they have. Don't be so graphic, Mike. I'm just kidding. I mean, as I was saying before, just like the writers truly just need to be applauded for just like. For the depiction of this character, just like I said, the ruthlessness of her, just like she really will stop at nothing to, and she will do what is necessary to keep she will do whatever is necessary to keep that firm. It's just like she like I said, what is masterful is portraying that ruthlessness. She is, but yeah, there's also complexity to her. She isn't like a one-dimensional villain. She's sympathetic, but yes, she has that warped mind of hers, and that cunning, that the ruthlessness of hers. She's just like, in addition to being sympathetic, it's just like she's, like I said, she's as dangerous as hell. So number 2 on my list is Cersei Lannister from Game of Thrones.
Colton, number 2 on your list is
Frieza. Well, pretty much the same reasons that you said, Paul. But another reason what I love Frieza from is his personality. You know, he can go from being a comic collected character to pretty pissed off pretty quickly. But I also love how he never loses his menace, even when he is starting to lose his cool. But even before that, I think something that we saw with Frieza that we hadn't really seen with other villains is that while the other hero in other battles, our heroes were trying to stall for Goku to arrive, but in the case of Frieza, it was more like they were just trying to survive Frieza. They were like pretty much screwed the minute he showed up. And with Frieza, not only would he want to have you dead, but he would make sure you would suffer. I mean, damn, the way he like stabs Krillin, and then when he transforms into the second time, and then in his third form when he starts shooting all those like energy blasts at Piccolo, and then the way he breaks down Vegeta in his final form, it's one of those fights that really sticks with you. I mean, yeah, it goes on for much, much longer than it really should have, but it's still, like I said, it's one of the best fights for how, like I said, for all those reasons that I just mentioned, for how Frieza will make you suffer, and how it takes place on a planet that's pretty much had its entire population killed. I mean, not even that was like I think that was the first time that's ever happened on a series where an entire population is gone and it's just our heroes left. And Frieza even takes the initiative and kills a child on screen just so Dende can't heal anybody anymore. You don't see that kind of forward thinking that often from a lot of the villains of Dragon Ball Z, and you can see why people love Frieza as much as he does and why he's come back to varying degrees of success. But yeah, Frieza, number 2 on my list.
You know, just a quick add-on to that about when he stabbed Krillin in his second form. They actually don't show this. They actually didn't show this in the original airing. You have to watch the uncut version. After he stabs Krillin, he kind of like wiggles him around a little bit, just causing him more and more pain. You see the blood just dripping off his horns, and he's just laughing so much about it. Like, this is fun to him. Jeez.
Yep, he'll torture you, and he'll do it with an honest-to-God smile on his face.
Yeah. All right, Jack, number 2 on your list is?
Kingpin from Marvel's Daredevil, played beautifully by Vincent D'Onofrio. I mean, he is just brutal. I mean, like Mike said, with that car door scene, man, that's intense. Like, you do not want to fuck with this guy because he will fuck you up and he will enjoy it too. And then in season 2, when he beats Matt Murdock up when he went to visit him in jail, you're like, oh shit. Even in jail, he will still kick your ass and make you beg for mercy, and you will not get any.
Indeed. He was vicious. All right, Mike, what's number 2 on your list?
Number 2 is a fairly recent addition to the villain roster, but it is Dracula from Castlevania on Netflix.
Okay.
It's only been 2 seasons so far, and the first season is only 4 episodes, half an hour each. Second season is like 10 episodes. Yeah, somewhere around there. Again, only half an hour each. But Dracula is, I mean, what he has his minions do is stomach churning, to be honest. And yeah, it's animated, and they go all out. And basically, in the first episode, he learns that his wife's been burned as a witch and killed. He shows up at the town, says, "Hi, I'm Dracula. You will have 1 year to live. Bye." And he leaves. Shows up 1 year later and slaughters every last person in the entire town. I mean, slaughters them, rips them to shreds. You see the guts pouring out. This guy is brutal. This guy has no love for humanity. He, even the other vampires think, oh yeah, we're just gonna, we're gonna enslave humanity and make them our slaves. And he's like, nah, I'm gonna kill everybody. Everybody's gonna die. I don't care if I have nothing left to live for. Everyone's gonna die. I'm gonna die. I don't care anymore. And he proceeds to try and do just that. He is brutal. He is evil, but you understand where his pain is coming from. And so, yeah, I mean, it builds to, the end of season 2, and when he actually gets into a knockdown, drag out fight, I won't say with whom, but you can see why every other vampire, every other creature in the entire world is scared of this guy. So yeah, my number 2 is Dracula from Castlevania.
Good description. Okay, number 2 on my list is Penguin from the Fox Gotham show. Say what you want about Gotham, like it, hate it. I can understand both arguments. What you cannot deny is that Robin Lord Taylor plays this character just brilliantly. This perfect mix of charming sadism. He is just so much fun to watch. He's someone like, I want to have a beer with this. I'd love to have a beer with this guy, but I don't want to fuck with him too. Like, he scares the death out of me, but I want to be with him. I want to hang with him for a few hours, So yeah, I mean, he's been my favorite character in the show. I love every scene he's been in. He's so much fun to watch, and Robin Lord Taylor just plays him brilliantly. So yeah, number 2 is Penguin from Gotham. If that's the only reason I can give you to watch that show, I mean, that should be good enough. Just watch it for him. All right, guys. So here we are. Number 1. Chris, who is it?
My number one on my list is you gotta have these guys on your list. If you don't, your resistance will be quite beautiful.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yes.
The whole thing, huh? The whole race?
Yes. The Borg from Star Trek: The Next Generation. And you know how villains are. Well, you see most villains from Star Trek. You see most most villains from Star Trek. I mean, some of them really draw on their own. I mean, like Han or Q. Well, not really Q. I mean, I don't know. Q was more of an anti-hero.
In the ass.
Yeah, pretty much. But they draw from strength from their own individual idiosyncrasies. But what makes the Borg so chilling is that it's the concept of it. You know, we like a whole rate and whole. It'd be just these beings, you know, just like these beings, you know, just they're part of a whole collective. It's the collective minds of all of them. It's just it's just like I said, they don't deal with well. You can look to First Contact when they have a leader, but just like the frightening thing is just like the coldness, this emptiness that they have. You know, they go through the remote corners of the universe and they absorb these entire civilizations without mercy. They are, and this is Borg said, this is Q said in their first encounter. You can't outrun them, you can't destroy them, whatever. If you try to destroy them, the essence of what they are remains. Eventually, you will weaken. Your reserves will be gone. They are relentless. That pretty much sums up the Borg in my opinion. It's just pretty much just like, and then of course that big act, you know, in season 3 Star Trek: The Next Generation, where they assimilated the card. It's like there's no stopping it. It's just like, oh my god. I don't think. I mean, this is like just looking at this. Whenever you look at it, it makes my skin crawl. That's how menacing they are, and they probably are the best sci-fi one of the best sci-fi creations. So I mean, maybe I would say the number one best. I mean, just the concept of it. It's just it's a brilliant one. It's just, and I don't think many in terms of villains for Star Trek, I don't think any villain really has come close. Like there is Khan, but yeah, the Borg are definitely on the top of the list. So number one on my list is the Borg.
Colton, number one on your list is?
Number one on my list is from the spinoff to Buffy the Vampire Slayer Angel, Daniel Holtz. Now, Holtz, what I love about him is that, well, first off, he's a vampire hunter that Angel fought centuries ago, and he killed Holtz's wife and then turned his daughter into a vampire, and Holtz had to kill her as a result. Now he is burning for revenge, and so he makes a deal with the demon to be able to travel into the present where he encounters Angel once more, only to find out that Angel has been cursed for the soul and is now a good guy. You would think this is the part of the story where Holtz decides, okay, since you're not so bad, I guess I can let the whole you kill my family thing go. But nope, he does not, and he is bound and determined to get his revenge, and he will let nothing stand in his way. The lengths he goes to get his revenge are, I can't delve into it much because of spoilers, but the impact it has on the series is earth-shattering. It is not the kind of thing, our heroes are never able to fully recover from it, and what he does lasts until the entire series. Nothing about his actions is predictable, and I love also how he fully acknowledges that he will more than likely go to hell for his actions, but he doesn't care as long as he gets to get back at Angel for what he did. But his actor also manages to play Holtz with enough sympathy so that you can actually, you know, be on his side just a little bit, rather than thinking, oh, will you just get over yourself already? So what if Angel did this back in the past? He's not the same person anymore. You are totally and completely, okay, I was totally and completely understanding while also wanting to see Angel be able to stop him. It was a very, you know, that's what I love about, and it really highlights what I love about the show, how things really aren't as black and white as things were on Buffy the Vampire Slayer. So number one on my list for the impact of his actions, his acting, and the impact he has on the series, Daniel Holtz from Angel.
All right, Jack, number one on your list is?
Before we get there, I'm going to do the theme song for the show. When there's trouble, you know.
Oh, yep, okay, we all got it. That's too easy.
Teen Titans, go! And
What?
No,
Okay.
not Teen Titans Go. Not
Okay.
the shooting version.
Say, I'd reach over there and slap you if that was the case.
My favorite villain, Slade. Ron
Okay.
Perlman's voice. He is so menacing, and he's always 5 steps ahead. Whether he gets Robin to be his apprentice by putting diseases in the Titans, or probes in the Titans.
Bombs.
Bomb, thank you. I can't remember what it was. Or manipulating Terra to destroy the Titans. He is always the head. And he is the greatest, such a great villain, because you fear him whenever he's on screen. And then when you think he's dead, he comes back and he has fire powers. And you're like, I thought he was like scary before. He's worse now. And that's why he's my favorite TV villain. Slade.
All right, Mike, who's number 1 on your list?
My number 1 is a villain from before any other villain on this list. They were the villains. They've been called a trash can with a homicidal trash can. The most prominent Doctor Who villain ever, the Daleks. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. Probably my favorite villain of Doctor Who is the Master, but you can't deny that the Daleks are his greatest threat because
I thought the Cybermen would be your favorite.
Nah, Cybermen are just they're poor excuses of the Daleks. I mean, basically, their catchphrase is exterminate. That's basically what they do. They just, if they see something that's not a Dalek, they want to kill it. I mean, they're genocidal, they're homicidal, they're racist. They basically, I mean, basically, if the Doctor wasn't around, they would have destroyed everything in the universe many, many times over. Yeah, they may look goofy, but that they will still kill you. It doesn't matter how they look; they'll still kill you. And they've been around since 1963, so they're older than every other villain that we mentioned. Yeah. Well, unless you count Dracula. Myth. Yeah. Right. Anyway, yeah. So yeah, my number 1 is the Daleks from Doctor Who.
All right. Just to give an idea just how hard this list was. Just a quick, some of the villains that I did not mention. I had Grant Ward, I had Slade from Teen Titans, and I also had Aku from Samurai Jack. Those are just some of the villains that did not make my list. That's how hard it was. Okay. Number 1 on my list, and Chris, if I could, I would reach in there and strangle you for not even mentioning this guy. Number 1 on my list, Gul Dukat from Star Trek Deep Space Nine. Holy mother of God, this guy was beyond terrifying. The transformation this guy goes throughout the entire arc of the 7-run series of Deep Space Nine. He goes from being just a huge pain in the ass to full-fledged villain to sadistic psycho. It was so brilliantly done. This is the definition of villain that you love to hate. He is so brilliant in his character. He's just such a scary villain, especially in a lot of things. And I think there are 2 big reasons why. First one, the writing for him was just so well done. Deep Space Nine had an amazing team of writers, and they wrote him so perfectly. And the other reason is the brilliant acting chops of the actor who played him, Mark Alamo. He deserved a huge round of applause for creating not just my favorite villain, but in my honest opinion, one of the greatest villains in television history. Not just sci-fi villains, but villains in general. He is so brilliantly well done. So, yeah, number 1, Gul Dukat from Star Trek Deep Space Nine. Okay. All right, guys, so that's going to wrap it up. This was a lot of fun being a little evil today. It's always a good thing to be a little bit evil every once in a while, as long as you don't hurt anyone too badly. So I want to thank all of you for being here. Chris, thank you for being here.
It's great. It's always great being on the show. It's always great doing this with you guys.
Colton, it was a pleasure having you here.
It was great being here. I really enjoyed this.
All right. Jack, thank you for being here.
Yeah, this was a lot of fun. And 24 days and counting to Kingdom Hearts 3.
To being what?
Kingdom Hearts 3.
Oh, okay.
When you walk away, you don't.
Mike, we appreciate you being here.
Yeah, fun as always, and yeah, there were a lot of villains that came close to making my list.
Yeah. All right, guys. So next week is actually going to rely on Chris. He's going to be hosting the show if we do have one. I'm taking next Saturday off because it's my birthday, so I'll see y'all in the week after that. And so enjoy the show next week. I'll see y'all in 2 weeks, and thank you guys very much for watching. These guys will see you next week. I'll see y'all in 2 weeks. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.